Incoming transmission.
Hi, I'm Admiral Teag. During our Saturday Star Trek watch party, my crew, JT Kirk, Sean Carter, Resolute, Germ, and I dove into Enterprise's episode The Expanse, the Season 2 finale that launches the Xindi arc. Join us in the Constellations briefing room as we recap Seasons 1 and 2 and prime you for Season 3 and reveal its Star Blazers vibe. And if you could be so kind, hit those like and follow buttons. Come on, let's take a trip to the final frontier.
Incoming transmission.
So who here remembers this episode the first time they saw it and what they thought? I'll expand on my feelings later while I get them in order.
So I remember watching this thing for the first time, and I could honestly say I looked at it and said, what the hell did I just see? And is this where we're really going to go? Did we really have to do this for a finale? Will I even have UPN as a TV station in my cable package by the next go around? And it turns out I did not.
Oh God!
So yeah, this was kind of a pooptacular of multi-species proportions. You know that scene in Jurassic Park where the doctor is shoving her arm all the way up into the poo pile from Triceratops. Yeah, that's about
felt like that.
What that felt like. Yeah.
You know what? It's a better story than it is Star Trek. It is some of the worst Star Trek ever, and it's not Star Trek. It is blatantly trying to be Star Blazers, which was a good cartoon, but like one, I got that it was Star Blazers right away because you get the hard countdown within 2 episodes, right? And the other thing is like it's beat for beat. I rewatched Star Blazers and then I rewatched this. It's beat for beat. Like the opening movie is so derived from Star Blazers. Star Blazers, they're building a new ship to go face this threat. The Earth has been under attack, and like reinforcements arrive, and they go out with the new ship. And this one, the newest ship comes back to Earth, sees them building a ship just like in Star Blazers. They have a little confab. They go out on a mission of vengeance because they got a message, a mysterious message from the stars. In Star Blazers, it's a little more complicated because they give them the technology too. Like the message has encoded how to build the wave motion engine and stuff like that. So that's how like they go to warp in Star Blazers. But this was exactly Star Blazers. When Silic shows up and starts talking his dumb future shit and brings him to Future Man, who like at this point it's just an X-Files time travel nonsense bullshit thing. And it should have just been anyone else telling them that. Like some guy just like, I sell information. I do not give it away. You know, so any number of people, we had to bring this shit back into it. The temporal Cold War had to be part of it.
I'd rather that they had pulled in the Klingons or the Romulans into some of this crap.
We have the Klingons in the mix of this episode because it's just absolutely, like you said, craptacular. It's not like this isn't fun. We got a couple of shootouts in space, and it's kind of fun. But it's just like as you watch this, the Star Trek part of you is like, you know, it's just like it's not really Star Trek-y. There is just a mission of vengeance is not Star Trek. And I would say this, if you love this version of Faith of the Heart, listen to it one last time, because when we get to the next episode, we got some Kunga in there. We're putting some energy into the theme song. And this is the last ever episode of Enterprise. And the next episode begins it being called Star Trek Enterprise, which we have called it from the beginning because this show needs help. Like most Star Trek shows start out with TOS, and that's where they build from. I think this has been a mixed bag this year of doing Enterprise. Season 1 was very good. Season 2 has been bad to the point that at about episode 15, we decided we had to hit the fast forward on this one.
Yeah.
We made it to episode 20 without having to do anything, but now we're jumping around. So we're pretty faithful to seasons 1 and 2.
Yeah, we found a subspace vacuole and just launched the ship through it. No questions asked.
Just checking in on our conversation. Y'all are insane. Season 3 is awesome. It's got Spacecraft. We're watching that one. Future Enterprises. We're watching that one. Zombie Vulcans. We're watching that one. Time travel to Detroit. Yeah, we're skipping that one. And Archer Ghost Pirate.
I tried to get him to do that one, our RTN said, so I could point out how this was not in Detroit. It was filmed in the hellscape of LA, and I can prove it because Detroit is not in a valley and there are no effing mountains.
It's
Okay.
at least it's better like when they go to New York in Stormfront, and Archer's driving through the Malibu mountains where they filmed MASH, and then suddenly he's in Manhattan.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, hey, that's Southern California. That's where they filmed. Where's the MASH copter? Like, oh,
Guys,
now we're in Brooklyn.
Mount Trump and the other mountains, Mount Ivanka and Mount Donald Jr. and Mount Eric, they're going to be installed on Tuesday. By the time that episode happens,
Well,
that'll
this
be
one we get
accurate.
to see Mount Mayweather, but
I might be willing to watch.
at least be somebody Mount Mayweather. You know what's cool about the Xindi arc is legitimate Star Trek fans. Some love it and some hate it. And I like that we're all fans and we can love it or hate it as we wish. I think that's awesome. But it's really interesting how the Xindi arc. It's not. I don't want to say it's divisive because I don't think it causes arguments or anything. But
No, people who
there's
like
such a
Enterprise have already overlooked some of the biggest prejudices against Star Trek.
Right.
Like, this is the most hated Star Trek show that's in the original continuity.
And it might be for a good reason. It might be
don't
for
think
a
it's
good reason.
I still feel like on episode by episode basis, it's better than Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
A lot of this is better than later season. Well,
it's all better than Voyager.
Later Cass Neelix Voyager. I mean, it definitely is better than that. However,
yeah, but when we throw the 5 species of Xindi at us, we end up with what do you call it? Like a Neelix-looking kind of Xindi species that I just hate. The ones with the antennas on top of their heads. And hey, look, beaming to the bridge right now, we have another member of our crew has just returned from a dangerous away mission. Welcome right now, Larpal and Buddy. It's Resolute Germ.
No.
Sorry to scatter your arms around.
Whoa. Ooh. He finally came out of the pattern buffer.
We're going to hack the Federation database again, so get ready for that.
Unit is the ultimate achievement in computer evolution.
Nice.
What's Giggle? Did you write this? Okay.
Interesting.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah, I wrote it all. Like, come on, I'm a writer. That's what I do. This is my Star Trek show.
I'm gonna have to rewind that later and pause it to really read all that stuff.
This week, familiarize yourself with this. For those of you who don't remember, the Xindi probe was an experimental weapon sent here across the Delphic Expanse, by the Xindi Empire. The Empire are 5 species on one planet, and these are bad hombres. Okay, this is why we need a wall, but Starfleet has never listened to me on this one. I told them we need a wall, the planet needs to be in a Dyson sphere, but no, they stand in the way, and they stand in the way. What are you going to do? But this is the Xindi weapon, and you know what? It created a lot of beachfront property. It gets a bad name. It improved. There's a canal across Florida and in Venezuela. Unfortunately, it gets Elizabeth Tucker. This is the Xindi probe. Remember this one? It's like a cheap rehash of the probe from Enterprise, isn't it? From our First Contact, right?
Yeah.
It's the Borg sphere.
Yeah.
Automatic defense procedures initiated.
Time travel.
But if they changed history, why are we still here?
Okay, the official report in the Xindi Crisis and the Enterprise Delphic Space Expanse mission is, this is, the Section 31 override was pretty easy. Here you will remember, of course, the Xindi probe, which we saw in the episode. All right. So the United Federation of Planet Archives official report in the Xindi Crisis and the Enterprise's Delphic Expanse mission on March 22nd, 2153, old calendar, started 0322.53. An unidentified alien probe executed a catastrophic attack on Earth, obliterating a 4,000-kilometer corridor from Florida to Venezuela, resulting in 7 million casualties. Intelligence disclosures were that a human operative from the future, or humanoid, presenting as a shadowy figure, briefed Archer on the temporal Cold War, identifying the Xindi as the perpetrators, allegedly acting to preempt the human destruction of their species 400 years in the future, per the disinformation from an opposing temporal faction. The material evidence was the analysis of the doomed Xindi probe revealed the component bearing a temporal signature dated 420 years in the future. Little 420 reference for you there from the Star Trek people. The mission authorization was Starfleet Command ordered the Enterprise to pursue the Xindi into the Delphic Expanse. The vessel was retrofitted with advanced weaponry, enhanced shielding, a detachment of military command operative personnel were added. And I understand, JT, you dig the Makos, don't you?
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I watched this episode twice. The first time I was a little too annoyed to really get all the points, but the mission was, the Enterprise gets permission to go into the Delphic space and follow the probe to its point of origin. If the magic intercession here that gets them up to speed on this is a little bit ridiculous, but the Xindi probe, brought to you by your friends at Saving Star Trek. So these are the things that we can look for when we get into the Delphic Expanse, gentlemen. I want you guys to batten down all unsecure objects and make sure that we have the shields ready to go at all times. I also want armed guards posted around the ship, especially by the warp core and by any of the turbo shafts. So we can expect to deal with spatial anomalies. It's characterized by unpredictable gravitational distortions. Its environment is hostile. Okay, this region exhibits extreme electromagnetic and radiation fields which can interfere with our senses, communications, and shielding systems. All right. So when we polarize the hull, we can't expect to have the full effect. But you know what? Our enemies will be in there too. There's a historical precedent of vessel loss. On ancient Earth, there was a zone called the Bermuda Triangle. You may have heard of this. Many ships were lost there, including the Black Pearl.
Yes, I've heard of it. Yeah.
But you have heard of me.
And of course, the Vulcan ship, the Vankara, was destroyed in the Expanse prior, in 2153, a year before this. Captains of the final Federation fleet. In April 2153, an alien probe smashed through Earth, carving a 4,000-kilometer scar from Florida to Venezuela, taking out millions, including Commander Tucker's little sister, Elizabeth. The Enterprise gets the call from Admiral Forrest to haul ass back to Earth. On the way, Captain Archer gets snatched by the Suliban Cabal, but their boss Silik swears they didn't touch Earth. Some shadowy figure dude drops intel on the temporal Cold War and the Xindi, the ones who hit us, thinking the humans will wipe them out in 400 years. The Enterprise gets jumped by a Klingon bird of prey, but Starfleet's got their back chasing it off. Archer spills the Xindi story to Starfleet and the Vulcans, but Ambassador Saval ain't buying it. The time travel and the time war talk, it warns him against chasing the Xindi into the sketchy Delphic Expanse, and he backs it up by showing him the Vulcan version of the movie called The Vulcan Event Horizon. It's terrible stuff, man! Terrible stuff! Vulcan Sam Neill gives a good performance, but that's about it. Archer finds proof the probe's from 420 years in the future, so Star Trek juices up the Enterprise with a few new weapons, some shields, and a badass Mako contingent. Saval tries to pull T'Pol off the ship, saying this is human business, but she claps back with logic. Will she be able to join her friends in the NX-01? Will Captain Archer be able to escape the Klingons and make it into the dangerous Delphic Expanse? Find out on tonight's exciting episode of Star Trek Enterprise!